Your girl turned 30 this week, and so to treat myself, I decided to finally upgrade my iPad Pro of 6 years to the new 2022 iPad Pro. So welcome to this iPad Pro and Apple Pencil unboxing and review. This will be an artist/creative's perspective on this, so I'll share some of the thoughts and things that I like about this product from that perspective. I am upgrading from the 12.9 first generation iPad that came out in 2016-2017. So this is a relatively large upgrade from having to upgrade for 6 years. So you'll see me taking it out of the box, and the first thing I notice is how much lighter and smaller this is compared to the iPad I had. I'll put the specs of this iPad on the screen. This is the 12.9, 256 gigabytes of storage, which is one of the biggest things as an artist I highly recommend. Want something to look for and to not skimp out on. Procreate and any other art drawing, any art app is going to require a lot of space if you're going to save your stuff on there, which you're inevitably going to. So don't skimp on storage. If you have the money, go up in storage. This could just be me or because it's new, but I thought that the screen looks like it's a little bit more reflective. You can see my face in the reflection here. And I just feel like this screen is shinier than the previous iPad. It might be just years of wear on the old one. But that's something else I noticed, was that the screen just seemed a little bit more vibrant, but also just glossier. So the box came with things you would expect. It came with its own charger, and this is a USB-C iPad, which is different than the previous ones or any previous version where it's the Thunderbolt or the lightning cable, whatever it is. So this is a USB-C, which is different, which means you have to change some of the chargers that you might have around. Apple kills the game with their setup and their ecosystem. So as long as you are using Apple devices and are just transferring between them and are backing things up, the process is very simple. I did run into a few hiccups that I didn't end up actually recording. My Procreate, like I said, is over 45 gigabytes worth of storage, which is one of the main reasons why I upgraded, was I was just running out of storage on my iPad. So it took about 3 days to iCloud transfer from one iPad to the next. So something to keep in mind, that if you're like me and have a lot of art, it's going to take forever to upgrade and to transfer between devices. So prepare for that. I didn't fully expect that, and I thought I would be able to draw on it that day, but I did not. But that didn't stop me from obviously unpacking the Apple Pencil, which is one of the biggest changes from the Apple Pencil that I previously had. So one of the first things I noticed is that it has a different texture. This is more matte, which kind of matters to me and how it feels in my hand. And it is significantly smaller. It's so much shorter, and it has different ridges than the previous Apple Pencil. So here's the old one. It's more circular, it's more round, and it's longer, whereas this one has more angular edges and is shorter. So something I didn't expect, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone compare these two, but I think are important when you're understanding the feel of it. This has been one of the biggest things I'm learning to adjust to, or had to adjust to, just because the shape is different. And there's different functionality with this Apple Pencil where you can switch to the eraser by pressing on one of those soft ridges. And I keep messing that up, so I'm getting used to it, but I think I do like this pencil better. Something I did notice, though, is that this did not come with any extra nibs. I think the previous Apple Pencils came with at least one additional nib when it does run down. This one does not. So it will be something I'll have to buy, and something to consider if you are thinking of upgrading. Now here's a side-by-side comparison of these two devices, of the new iPad Pro with the old iPad Pro. Again, I'll put the specs on the screen of exactly the one I had versus the one that I just bought, this new one. But you can see the frame on the other one makes the old iPad Pro significantly larger than the new iPad Pro. Everything about the new iPad is smaller, from the actual device itself to even the Apple Pencil, and then also just how it connects. It's not something the previous iPads were able to do. You can see how it's snapped to the side of the iPad. My old iPad was not able to do that, so the Pencil kind of was free range, and I'm amazed I didn't lose it in the 6 years I had it. Nothing I bought for my old iPad will work for this, which is something unfortunate, that, all the money I invested in keeping my previous iPad safe kind of goes out the window with the size change. But I think the upgrade it's a smaller and lighter device, so I think it's worth it, but I do have to buy new stuff. Thankfully, my pencil grip fit this Apple Pencil. I need to have a grip in my old age and my decrepit 30-year-old hands now. I need to have something thicker to grab on. So I highly recommend getting a grip for an Apple Pencil if you're using it. It will just help prevent like hand fatigue and hopefully carpal tunnel. So it took about an hour or two to transfer most of the iCloud backup to my new iPad. However, my Procreate files, it took 3 days. So I was able to start customizing my iPad a few hours later, but I wasn't able to test out drawing on it yet, on Procreate at least, until literally 3 days later. So here I am going to start to download all the things I was not able to download on my previous iPad because storage, I had no storage. So here I am, like customizing, downloading all my productivity tools, things I use for work like Notion, Slack, also just things I would use for fun and traveling like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, because it is essentially a laptop as well as a drawing tool. So that's why I often recommend it, or I always recommend it, because if you have the money, you can't go wrong purchasing this, whether or not you choose to fully invest into digital art or not. This is just a great tool to have. And to use, whether you become a professional artist or not. So 3 days later after I bought it, when I finally was able to draw on the iPad, when Procreate finally downloaded and all my stuff appeared, and I finally got to test it out, and it was a blast. It felt very similar to previous iPads, but some of the differences I did notice is that it is faster. Like the strokes, sometimes my previous strokes on my old iPad would like be off. There'd be a disconnect, or the software would freeze on me just because it was older. Obviously, that's just not happening here. This is a new iPad, and it's handling it pretty well. Besides some speed, the act of drawing on the iPad doesn't feel too different for me. The biggest change is actually the pencil. Like I said earlier, the shape of the pencil is different. It has like a flat edge, which is where it connects to the iPad Pro. And so in my hands, it just feels a little bit different. I think the grip makes it easier to adjust, since that grip obviously feels the same. And something that I don't know if I like quite yet or not is what I mentioned before, that like double tap on the side to change to an eraser. I guess my pressure, the way that I'm holding on to the pencil, it keeps doing that automatically. And so I'll be drawing and midway through it will start erasing, and it kind of pisses me off. It's really annoying when you're in the flow of sketching and your lines are flowing and then suddenly you just start erasing without you expecting it. So that's probably my biggest pain point right now, or my biggest critique. You can turn this feature off. I saw that you can when I was setting it up, but I just haven't decided if I will yet or not, because I like the idea of it rather than you having to go select erase on the Procreate app. I like the idea of being able to just press a button. But I think the way I just hold the pencil is just making this counterintuitive, or it just keeps pressing it by itself. So I haven't decided yet if I will keep it or not. But that has been the biggest issue or adjustment that I felt so far. Otherwise, I just think drawing on it is really simple and easy, and why these screen tablets are so much nicer than pen tablets, because you can just see what you're drawing on the screen. And they're just really powerful and useful, and they're just really great tools to learn to draw on and to be artists on. I like that this is lighter, that I can carry it around a little bit easier, and I can sit on the couch and draw, and it doesn't feel as heavy. Not that the previous iPad was really that much heavier, but it definitely was a bulkier iPad than this one is. This one's a little bit more concise. The frame is smaller, and I think that will just really help me when I travel. These iPads are really powerful, and they can last a really long time. Like I said, my iPad lasted 6 years, and it's actually still functioning. I'm giving it to my dad, so I'm not throwing it away by any means. It just had too little storage for me at this point, as I've grown as an artist and have produced a lot of art. So these things are great. They're really great investments. They're a lot of money up front, but they are, if you treat them well and take care of them, they will last you a really long time. They are not something you need to replace constantly. They have lasted longer than a lot of my previous laptops. So I really do recommend iPads, because I think they are some of the best things that Apple produces. And I think they're great for digital artists, or just any creative, or anyone who wants a powerful tool on the go. I'll be doing a follow-up video about accessories that I use for my iPad Pro, all the things I use to help me draw on it better. I have a few things that I've already started to record, so look out for that next. But let me know some of your favorite iPad accessories that I might be able to check out, or just your favorite reasons or favorite things with your iPad, or any questions you have about the iPad. If you're an artist or you're just considering buying one, if there's something I didn't answer here, please leave a comment, and I'd be happy to answer them. Well, thanks so much for watching, and thanks again for your support. It's support from you guys that I was even able to upgrade my iPad. I wouldn't be able to do this without everyone who watches or follows me, supports me in my shop. So thank you so much, and I'm excited to continue to produce art on this and have so much more to offer everyone who supports me. So I'm really excited about that. I have more art videos and tutorials coming soon too. Thank you for sticking around with my YouTube reboot, because I have been just consistently uploading for a little bit and have rebooted my channel in different ways. Check out my podcast, Fangirl Feels. That is something I've been doing with my friend. I share it on here as well, just to give it some visibility. It may eventually get its own YouTube channel, but for now it's on here. But follow me, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, ring the bell, all the YouTube things, and I'll be back next week with another video. Bye!